Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Southern Wealth. I do hope you're having a wonderful day. If you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. So, yesterday I was talking about what could be a potential black swan in the next few years, and I will refer to one of the things to be government debt. And I dropped that video, and a few hours later, some of the rating agencies have been downgrading U.S. sovereign debt. So, for people who don't understand what that means, rating agencies look at the credit risk of companies, nations, you name it. And basically, what you aim to have is a triple A rating. And every time you get downgraded, that means that the risk of default, the perceived risk of your ability to fulfill your obligations, has now increased. So it's less likely that you get paid. So that's why you see bonds keep going down. Funny, the investments that both Harry Dent and that guy, Steven Van Meter, that guy is now pumping garbage stocks. Steven Van Meter, I mean, almost every video. So you can see he was called the Bond King, by the way. He was telling people to buy bonds when TLT was 170 and TLT is now 96. So this is the level of ability to foresee that this guy has. It's legendarily bad. But in any case, I digress. And what you actually need to understand is that the risk of default of the US is actually much higher than even the current rating. And the reason is very simple. The Treasury, Janet Yellen, the government has already admitted they are running a Ponzi scheme. Think about what they said. If we don't raise the debt ceiling, we will default in our obligations. So in other words, if we don't get new people to buy our debt, we cannot pay the old debt holders. In other words, if we don't get new investors, we won't be able to pay the old investors. Now, what is the difference between these kind of statements and Bernie Madoff? Is actually Bernie Madoff understood that Ponzi schemes should be kept quiet. Sure, we have the money, we can sell this, we can raise these taxes, we can lower that budget. Of course, none of this is true, but at least you pretend. So the government is so incompetent that they cannot even respect the first rule of a Ponzi scheme, which is to keep it quiet. No, they actually come to public and admit it. And this is where the media part comes in which there are people involved in that world that know that basically what these guys are doing is admitting they are running the largest Ponzi scheme on earth. But they never ask the question. It is such a simple question to ask. You're saying that you cannot pay your debt holders if you don't find new ones. That is a definition of a Ponzi scheme. So you just admitted you're running a Ponzi scheme. Can you please comment? It's as easy as this. But they won't do it because, these people unfortunately do not represent you. They do not represent me. They are here to help each other. They are here to keep the political machine going. And, there's that whole story where everyone is in a club and you are outside of it. That's actually what's happening here. And I'm not sure if you notice on what Powell already started saying, is that they may consider cutting rates before the target of 2% inflation is actually achieved. So the tables are being set slowly but surely for the inevitable to happen. It's very simple. I've explained this a million times. If the US runs huge trade deficits and huge budget deficits, they need to borrow money. But less and less people want to lend money to the US. So who has to do it? The Federal Reserve. But the US pays interest on their debt. So can the US afford high interest rates for a long, long time? No. Can it do it for a year, maybe a year and a half? Sure. So keep that in mind, guys, and I'll catch you in the next one.